Saturday.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Bob Woodruff. President Bush's trip to celebrate the end of World War II in Europe sets off a diplomatic storm. That's our top story tonight, but first, the rest of the day's headlines. On a bloody day for Americans, Iraq's government names a new defense minister to fight the insurgency. In a sweeping move, the Bush administration opens nearly 60 million acres of roadless national forest to logging and gas exploration. And just in time for Mother's Day, the home cooking that took this woman from fear to fame. But we begin tonight in Europe with President Bush 60 years to the day after Germany surrendered to the Allies in the Second World War. More than 40 million people were killed in Europe, more than half of them civilians. For millions more in Eastern Europe, the war was followed by decades of Soviet military presence. There are many ways to view that history, and as President Bush discovered in Latvia today, it is a very sensitive topic. ABC's Terry Moran is in the Latvian capital.
In this ancient Baltic city today, which for decades was occupied by the Soviet Union, President Bush made a solemn declaration.
The captivities of millions in Central and Eastern Europe will be remembered as one of the greatest wrongs of history.
History looms large on this trip, and it is causing problems for President Bush. In Moscow, President Putin is preparing to host the 60th anniversary commemoration of the end of World War II, an event he believes will showcase the Soviet Union's role in the victory over Nazism.
The Red Army occupied the countries it had freed from German rule.
But it is the history of the Soviet takeover and brutal occupation of the Baltic nations after the war that the people here want the world to remember, and that has put Mr. Bush in a tough position, caught between his commitment to these new democracies and his important relationship with Putin. The main instigator of this controversy is Latvia's outspoken president, Vaira Vika-Freiberga. Why does all this history matter today?
Because it has consequences for the future.
Vika-Freiberga believes Russia should apologize for what the Soviets did. Moscow's response has been furious. Russia's foreign minister says Russians view their role in the war with pride.
They feel that the country was the great country which managed to save not only its own people, but the people of Europe.
The Latvian president calls that version of history a lie, and she worries about Russia's newly aggressive attitude towards its neighbors.
We happen to be living in a country that is on their doorstep, but we do not think that authorizes them to interfere in our affairs.
The Bush administration is also worried that Putin is trying to rewrite history, intimidate Russia's neighbors, and crack down on freedom at home. Today, Mr. Bush gently warned Putin not to turn away from democracy.
In the long run, it is the strength of Russian democracy that will determine the greatness of Russia.
Tomorrow, President Bush will take that argument and his view of history to Moscow. Terry Moran, ABC News, with the president in Riga, Latvia.
Let's turn now to Stephen Cohen, professor of Russian studies at New York University. Dr. Cohen, as Terry said, the president is in a very tough position diplomatically, but he appears to have come down pretty squarely against the Russian view of history. Is he right?
Well, he's got an enormous problem because each of these countries has its own historical truth. And the problem is each country has, it is true what they believe. It's true, for example, that the Soviet Union almost alone destroyed the Nazi war machine from Russia to Berlin, liberating Eastern Europe along the way. But then, as the Baltic countries claim, the Soviet army, the Russian army, then occupied those countries. So there's two truths there. It's true, as the Balts complain, that they suffered under Soviet occupation, but it's also true, as Moscow points out, that the Baltic countries, when they were under German occupation, collaborated with the Germans against the Russians. So who can say whose truth is truer? And that's what President Bush is trying to do. What we're going to see this weekend in the Baltic countries and in Moscow is President Bush trying to cope with and balance these conflicting truths. And it is almost impossible.
So is this just a war of words, do you think? Or do you think this represents a real rift between President Bush and the man that he has said many times is his personal friend, Vladimir Putin?
If there was not already a rift between the United States and Russia, if the relationship was not already going sour, these historical polemics would not be so sharp. But I think what we're witnessing this weekend in Moscow and on Monday is the last ceremonial act of professed friendship between Russia and the United States. I think ahead lies something more akin to Cold War. And the irony is that Moscow staged this 60th anniversary as an act of unity. And all it's done is bring on more divisions.
Not quite what was expected. Dr. Stephen Cohen, many thanks. And for a complete interactive history of World War II in Europe, you can click on to abcnews.com anytime. Now to Iraq, where a U.S. Marine and 2 American contract workers are among at least 23 people killed today. The insurgents' tactics appear to be changing slightly. In the week and a half since Iraq's new cabinet was named, multiple daily attacks have become common occurrences. ABC's Jim Sciutto is in Baghdad tonight.
Bob, this morning, a tactic we're seeing more and more often here. 2 suicide car bombers attacking a single convoy. The convoy traveling through a main intersection we use all the time here, right in a central Baghdad square. The blast brought chaos to the very heart of the capital. The suicide bombers colliding with a convoy of foreign workers. Their armored SUVs reduced to burning wrecks. 2 American contract workers were killed. At least 13 Iraqi bystanders died as well. Many of the dead and wounded, children from a nearby Christian school. The 9 days since Iraq's first democratically elected cabinet was approved have been some of the most violent in weeks. 18 U.S. soldiers and nearly 300 Iraqis have died. Today, Iraq's new government took what many hope will be one step towards combating the violence, reaching agreement on filling the crucial defense ministry with a Sunni Arab. Many believe a Sunni leader will be better able to fight the insurgency, which has its roots in Iraq's large Sunni minority. The Iraqi prime minister says the new government has also reached agreement on an oil minister and other key posts. They have not announced the names of the candidates, but the National Assembly is scheduled to vote on the new ministers tomorrow. Bob?
Jim Sciutto in Baghdad, many thanks. And back in this country, there is word of a passing tonight. Former Congressman Peter Rodino, the Democrat who led the House impeachment investigation of President Richard M. Nixon, has died. Rodino suffered from congestive heart failure, and he died in his New Jersey home. He was 95 years old. Still ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday, millions of acres of forest protected by President Clinton, now opened by President Bush. The violent hit that transformed one man's body and the other man's soul. And the famous TV chef who once was afraid to leave the house, how her sons helped save her.
These are my babies.
This is World News Tonight, Saturday, brought to you by Aleve.
Sadly, arthritis pain can make people say goodbye to the little things they love, but not people who use Aleve. People whose doctors have told them the good news about the strength and safety of Aleve. The good news that only 2 Aleve can stop arthritis pain all day. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that. Take back the pleasure arthritis pain took away. Ask your doctor about the good news. Ask your doctor about Aleve.
There are 2 ways to kill weeds. Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer or the leading brand. Both kill existing weeds, but only Season-Long forms a protective barrier to prevent new weeds, all season guaranteed. So you won't have to spray month after month after month. The choice is yours. Kill weeds for the season or spend the season killing weeds. Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer. All weeds, all gone, all season.
If your skin's dry and thirsty, is your moisturizer running on empty? Introducing new pH2O Everyday Moisturizer by Physoderm. Unlike heavy moisturizers, it goes on light to drench your skin with vitamins and pure moisture. pH2O, what healthy skin's thirsty for.
Looks like heartburn.
Wait! They also have pressure and bloating.
That's gas. We don't treat gas.
I do. Maalox Max. Fast heartburn plus gas relief.
Thanks, Max.
Maalox Max. When you have it all, treat it all.
Now I look back and I go, what was I thinking?
The skateboard went. I went bam.
I tried to stand up and I couldn't.
I can't work. I'm like, who's going to pay for college now?
It's a good thing we had the disability insurance.
Mutual of Omaha.
It was impressive.
Begin today.
Inside every can of Minwax is the secret to enhancing wood's natural beauty. Minwax rich wood stains and long-lasting protective finishes make it easy to turn any house into a beautiful home. Minwax makes and keeps wood beautiful.
Something you've always believed is about to change. The first light ice cream that's as rich and creamy as regular is here. Dreyer's slow-churned light ice cream with half the fat. You've been waiting for this.
Sunday, America's CEO, Jack Welch, gives it to you straight. Are American automakers going bust and bringing down the economy? Plus, will North Korea test nukes? And funny man Jerry Lewis, what makes him stop laughing? Don't miss the fight against pain on This Week Sunday.
You may remember one of the last acts of the Clinton administration was to ban road building on nearly 60 million acres of national forest in 38 states, mostly in the West. Environmentalists at the time were delighted. Mining, lumber, and energy companies were angry. Well, this week, President Bush reversed the Clinton rules, and as ABC's Bill Rediker reports, the battle lines are being drawn again.
Some of the most pristine federal land in the nation is now open for development. Colorado's governor couldn't be happier.
We're going to be able to look at the 4.4 million acres that would otherwise be placed permanently under roadless status. We're going to be able to make a decision for ourselves.
Under the new rule, governors have 18 months to identify areas that should remain off limits to development, and then ask the government to develop the rest. Environmental groups are outraged.
What it means is many of our wild places on our national forests that are important to us for hunting and fishing and recreating are now going to be open to bulldozers.
The forest products industry says those fears are unfounded.
I can tell you, there certainly are not bulldozers and chainsaws warming up on the boundaries of all these roadless areas.
This is only one example of the president's efforts to open up federal lands for development. Development that the administration claims will create more jobs and benefit the economy. In rural Wyoming, a record number of oil and gas leases have been granted, creating an economic bonanza. Unemployment in Pinedale, Wyoming, the epicenter of the natural gas boom, is second lowest in the nation. But the governor worries it's happening too fast.
As a national policy, this region and this state has always been the place they went when they wanted more energy, and frankly, they didn't much care what happened to us.
The nation's forests already contain 386,000 miles of roads, enough to circle the Earth 15 times. No one expects the West to change anytime soon. Several environmental groups plan to tie up the administration's new rule for years. Bill Rediker, ABC News, Genesee, Colorado.
In central Wisconsin, officials say a fast-moving wildfire, the biggest in the state in a quarter century, has destroyed at least 30 homes. Some 100 families were forced to seek shelter elsewhere this weekend. This sporting note, thousands of racing fans gathered at Churchill Downs today to see the richest Kentucky Derby ever. The winner was Giacomo at 50-1 odds. If you voted on him, you're rich. When we come back, the fateful moment that would link these two young men's lives forever.
Shake up your ideas about popcorn. Introducing new Smart Balance microwave popcorn, the world's first to help improve cholesterol with no hydrogenated oil and no trans fatty acids. Smart Balance microwave popcorn and Smart Balance buttery spreads contain a patented balance of vegetable oils to help improve the ratio of good to bad cholesterol. Enjoy delicious Smart Balance microwave popcorn, the great tasting popcorn that's actually good for you.
My doctor said I needed fiber, but Metamucil is thick and gritty. My doctor said I should take Benefiber. Benefiber has just as much fiber and never gets thick or gritty. Ask your doctor about Benefiber. For me, the choice is clear.
Someone finally got it right. A denture adhesive with no messy ooze.
Announcing Polygrip strips.
It's the right shape.
It's a thin, slim strip
The right hold.
that holds like a cream.
The right feel.
Without the messy ooze. They're pre-measured with the right amount of adhesive. Just wet them and set them.
you get a seal that's neat and clean for all they hold that's neat and clean. Polygrip Strips holds all day in a neat new way.
Chevy SUVs, perfect for escorting all kinds of VIPs. Especially your own. The new Equinox, the Trailblazer, the Tahoe, and the 9-passenger Suburban. Chevy, more SUV choices. An American revolution.
Have you pushed the hot button yet? See your local participating Chevy dealer today.
How fast can Alivert start treating an allergy here?
This fast.
And here?
This fast.
And here?
This fast.
Alivert dissolves fast without water for non-drowsy allergy relief. Alivert, right when you need it, wherever you are.
Hi, Jay Bush here at one of Boston's famous universities to introduce Bush's new Boston Recipe baked beans. Roll that beautiful bean footage. They're slow cooked according to our secret family recipe with a touch of brown sugar, a blend of spices, and rich molasses for an authentic Boston taste. I've only shared our secret family recipe with Duke, and he's trustworthy.
Welcome to Secret Family Recipe Revealed 101.
Duke!
Uh-oh, class dismissed.
Try Bush's new Boston Recipe baked beans.
Sunday, there's only 3 new shows left.
We haven't had sex in 10 days.
They're so hot, someone's going to get burned.
I'm pregnant, and it might be yours.
You should come back and work for us. You're practically family.
An all-new Desperate Housewives, Sunday, 9/8 Central, only on ABC.
Sunday, she's the French-Canadian girl who forgot the words to our national anthem. But you'll never forget the amazing surprise that's now waiting for her in Vegas. Plus, our own Bill Weir's hometown, Aspen, Colorado. Wait till you see it through his eyes on Good Morning America Sunday.
In our On the Sidelines series tonight, a story about a remarkable friendship. 14 years ago, Chucky Mullins and Brad Gaines collided on a football field. One would die. The other is spending the rest of his life making sure that his former foe is not forgotten. ESPN's Chris Conley has their story.
The drive takes 3 hours, and for Brad Gaines, it is a time to reflect on all that life has given him. As he moves south from Old Hickory, Tennessee, across the bridge at Decatur, Brad Gaines is alone until he gets to the cemetery on the hill in Russellville, Alabama.
I go down for both of us. I think he likes to hear from me, and I like to hear from him.
Since 1991, Brad Gaines has come here 3 times a year. He walks past dozens of surnames before coming upon a stone that features not a last name, but a first name, Chucky. Then, as he's done for 14 years, Brad tends to the grave of Chucky Mullins.
I always take my tools and cleaning supplies, and I take care of his stone.
When Chucky Mullins died, these men had known each other for only a year. But one moment on a football field changed them forever, transforming one man's body and the other man's soul.
One back in the backfield, 3 receivers wide right for Gromos. Back to throw in the pocket, plenty of time. Man wide open. It's Gaines. He's hit. Fumble. Gaines is going to recover. No, they say incomplete.
That moment came on October 28, 1989, during a game between Brad's Vanderbilt Commodores and Chucky's Ole Miss Rebels.
People that were in the crowd, it had said, man, it was the nastiest sound when he hit you that I've ever heard.
Chucky Mullins had hit Brad Gaines, but it was Chucky who could not get up.
I thought that he was dead. I really did.
The impact broke Chucky's vertebra, paralyzing him from the neck down. He was rushed to a Memphis hospital, where the first to visit him was Carver Phillips, who had taken in Chucky after the death of his mother.
When we walked in, he said, I messed up. He said, I messed up. And I told him, no, you didn't mess up. I said, you did good,
Several weeks after his injury, Chucky was brought to the Ole Miss locker room before a game to address his teammates, who had gone through their season with the battle cry, "It's time."
He whispered something, and I leaned down, and what did he say, Coach? He said, "It's time." It just exploded.
It's time! It's time! But while everyone could see the effect Chucky was having on his team, few could see the effect Chucky was having on Brad Gaines.
There were many nights that I did not sleep, or I would get up in the middle of the night and walk around campus.
If you could have spoken about it, what sentences would you have used to describe what you were feeling?
What I felt like was, man, I didn't cost this guy's career, I cost him his life.
2 months after their collision, Brad met Chucky for the first time.
He knew what I was feeling. So I leaned down, and the first thing he said to me was, "It's not your fault."
He stayed in touch, all the time, want to know if he all right or how we was doing.
In the spring of 1990, Chucky returned to Ole Miss as a student. But on a May morning in 1991, a blood clot put him back in the hospital. When Brad got there, Chucky was in a coma.
Carver's talking to the doctor. I see his head go down. And I knew what that meant.
Brad joined Carver as 2,000 mourners packed Chucky's memorial service in Oxford, Mississippi. Then they took their heartache and exultation across the state line to Russellville, where Chucky was laid to rest next to his mother. Ever since, Brad has returned 3 times a year. On May 6th, the anniversary of Chucky's death, the anniversary of their collision, and on Christmas.
It didn't matter that I was white or that he was black. None of that mattered. And, it was, I think 2 people that loved each other.
Brad Gaines wants the world to remember the man of courage who lies in the cemetery on the hill. And while he and Chucky came together in violence, they remained joined to each other by forgiveness, devotion, and love. For ABC News, Chris Connolly, ESPN.
And we'll be right back.
We're best friends. We are into our clothes and our car and jazz. We are honors students and twins. We are diabetics. We test 10 times a day because this is our meter. Because it's so not a pain to use.
The Accu-Check compact system eases pain others cause. A 17-strip drum takes the pain out of struggling with strips. You can also test on your palm instead of your sensitive fingers.
We say, see you later, pain.
Switch to the Accu-Check compact system. Less painful from start to finish.
There are 2 ways to kill weeds. Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer or the leading brand. Both kill existing weeds, but only Season-Long forms a protective barrier to prevent new weeds, all season guaranteed. So you won't have to spray month after month after month. The choice is yours. Kill weeds for the season or spend the season killing weeds. Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer. All weeds, all gone, all season.
Ready to make the move to Levitra for a strong, lasting experience? Ask your doctor if Levitra's right for you. Levitra is what many men with ED count on to improve their erectile quality. Strong and lasting when he wants it. It's what Levitra's all about.
Levitra is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains or alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. In the rare case an erection lasts for more than 4 hours, seek immediate medical attention.
Strong, lasting. Experience Levitra for yourself. If you're on another ED treatment, maybe it's time to try Levitra. Ask your doctor about a free sample.
Looks like heartburn.
Wait, they also have pressure and bloating.
That's gas. We don't treat gas. I do. Maalox Max. Fast heartburn plus gas relief.
Thanks, Max.
Maalox Max. When you have it all, treat it all.
For you, my sweet. I see you are overcome with love. Or could it be congestion and other seasonal nasal allergy symptoms? Your congestion will not keep us apart.
Only Nasonex is clinically proven to both treat and help prevent most seasonal nasal allergy symptoms, including congestion. Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
Love means never having to say you are congested.
To treat and help prevent most seasonal nasal allergy symptoms, Nasonex is the one. Talk to your doctor.
This Sunday, be careful who you're playing doctor with.
What I do when I leave this hospital is my business. I'll live with the consequences.
Especially when he's your boss.
What the hell are you doing?
An all-new Grey's Anatomy, Sunday 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
Finally from us on the eve of Mother's Day, the power of food. This is about a woman who cooked her way from a life of fear to one of fame with her sons by her side. From Savannah, Georgia, tonight, ABC's David Curley has the story of Paula Deen.
Hey, how are ya?
Paula Deen is a bona fide star.
That's Paula.
She's mobbed in front of her restaurant,
Oh, look at that voice.
where noon and night fans line up for a taste of the South.
You can get a plate of collard greens that'll make your tongue want to slap your brains out.
Country cooking has made her one of the biggest draws on the Food Network.
You won't find any silver spoons coming out any of my orifices.
But Paula Deen had to overcome crippling anxiety to get here.
It was an ugly secret.
As a young mother, Deen lost her own parents, triggering a fear of leaving her home. She was even unable to take her sons to after-school activities.
It's still today, I feel real guilty about it.
Paula Deen was agoraphobic for 20 years.
I got up this one particular day and said, you cannot go on another day.
With no job, money trouble, and an impending divorce, she started a business, making bag lunches.
When you're agoraphobic, you become pretty damn good at cooking.
Bobby and Jamie sold the lunches and today run their family restaurant, Lady and Sons.
As the business grew and I see how special it is and how fortunate that we are, that I wouldn't trade it for anything.
And what was the moral of the story?
Listen to Mama. Mama's always right.
Today, she's a multi-million-dollar Savannah institution with a new husband and a dream house on the water.
She's down home, she's real, she's normal, and her food is great. Loaded with butter.
I want you to take this garlic butter.
Comfort food and comforting words.
My one message is never give up.
Thank you, Paula.
You did good.
David Curley, ABC News, Savannah, Georgia.
And you can even teach David Curley to cook. That's our report tonight on World News Tonight this Saturday. Tomorrow, Terry Moran reports from Moscow on the president's visit 60 years after the end of World War II. I'm Bob Woodruff. For all of us here at ABC News, good night. Happy Mother's Day.
Tonight, Harry Potter is back. It's a magical event hosted by the stars with never-before-seen footage and an exclusive sneak peek at their next film. The network premiere of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, tonight, 7/6 Central, only on ABC.
How does it feel to be up with the sun? To know you're the one. Yeah, you're good to go. How does it feel to be in the know? Now you're good to go. Say good morning to America.
The dramatic footage.
Slams into a building smokestack.
The strange behavior. The shocking reports. The stories that take you to the edge. The strangest, wildest, most extreme moments. They're the most popular video downloads from K2.com, and you're going to see them all. But we can't show them to you now. Watch them all, Monday at 5, only on K2 News.